Sunday night?
Oh, I was going to. They closed the course.
Oh, it's closed. What's up, Crash Nation? This is Jonathan Wood. Alongside me is Joshua Wood with Lucky Sevens Promotions, Jordan Piter with JP Lawn Care. Coming through huge this week. We have a show in New Bloomfield, Missouri. It's going to be a great event, a lot of local support, and in the forefront of that support, I would say, is Jordan Piter with JP Lawn Care. A lot of people have seen that he's got trophies coming and checks. And Jordan, what's it mean to bring a local show to you to be able to help support it and bring in more people? I mean, it means a lot. We've been doing figure eight for a long time, and until about 2 years ago, we never had one in New Bloomfield. So it's pretty nice, being 5 minutes from home, drive there and unload. It's not having to make a long haul. It's definitely nice.
Yeah, and it's I've always liked it just because there's so much local support. The last 2 years we've had people throwing out stuff. I know you've thrown out stuff. We've had Becky's Towing come out and hand us extra added money and stuff like that. It just seems like the locals come out to support that show, and I know a lot of people like around the Ashland area and stuff like that. They feel like that's their hometown show as well, and so they come over from Ashland and stuff as well, just to help support the new Bloomfield show. Um, let's talk about these trophies a little bit. Um, what triggered you to say, "Hey, I want something like these trophies to be out of this world." Was there a conversation or was what triggered all that?
You really don't want to know exactly what triggered it, the actual real reason behind it. So we'll probably just leave that out. But the real reason probably is I don't care who you are, if you're a derby driver, racer, we all like the money, but we all like the trophy, and it's something that you're always going to have. And we've heard so many people in the last couple of years complain about New Bloomfield's track. Oh, it's overwatered, it's this or it's that. So I was like, you know what, we're going to get trophies, we're going to get checks, maybe more people want to come out. Like you said, like Becky's Towing and all them, they always throw more money at it. The pot's always raised. I mean, if the track's not in the best condition, I mean, the one thing I want to tell people is even the guy that wins, he had to run on the same track we all did. So, I'm just trying to get more people out there. I would love to see 70 cars show up at the New Bloomfield track. I mean, that's what I'd like to see. So I'd like to see it, last 3 or 4 more years and not just shut down.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of work going on over there at the track. I know there's a new excavation company in the area. They're still working on, learning to build the track and stuff like that, but the rain did not help that kind of stuff. They may not have to water it.
No, I went and looked at it today. Uh, it really did. I mean, for having probably 8 to 10 inches of rain in the last couple weeks, it really doesn't look as bad as you would think. I think come Friday or Saturday, Corey and them, I think they'll have it ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Corey is telling me he's planning on probably going up Saturday morning and knocking it out first thing in the morning, just to make sure it gets as dry as it can. Um, So let's see them trophies. I know you were showing me
Uh,
earlier.
couldn't get my camera to turn around for you, but I can give you an insight.
Well, that's a beautiful house. Did you do that?
I did. That's right. I'm a I'm a great decorator. And then there's the checks. The
So I
wife's
love
not liking
the
the the wife's not liking the decor in the front room, but I didn't really know where else to put it.
That's the best that front room has probably looked ever. Those things are sweet.
I was pretty
Such
excited. I mean, pictures didn't do 'em much justice when I picked them up in person. I mean, I know if I'm excited about them, I know everybody else is going to be too. So,
I'm just glad this camera doesn't go below the waist. Harder to
oh,
hold
man.
right now. I can't even win the damn things. This
yeah. I like the spark plug, the addition of the spark plug on there. That was cool.
Yeah, I told him I wanted something different, and I sent him several trophies over the years. And I just said I want something different that I haven't seen, and he sent me that idea, and I was like, man, I've never seen that, so kind of went with that.
Yeah, one night stand racing Seth Westport. You got him all fired up in the chat. He wants your autograph. He's excited about them trophies.
Telling to go.
Man, so tell us about that trophy that for first place. How tall is that thing?
It's just right over 5 foot. Every class, every class is broken up in the day Walter.
Cut out. Is everybody else there still? Josh, are you still there?
yeah,
All right.
And,
it's a shitty phone. He's got an Android.
and,
We kind
and
of missed
powder
all that.
do what?
We kind of missed all that.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
So in the guys class, you have a 5 foot tall trophy for first, two 4 foot tall trophies for second and third, and then fourth place will be a 3 foot tall trophy. Then Powder Puff for their first place, they get a 4 foot and a 3 foot for second, and then Youth gets a 4 foot and a 3 foot for second. And all the trophies come with a Happy Gilmore check.
Well, those checks are sweet too. We'll show them to everybody here in a minute too. But he just sent me a picture, and man, the picture that I seen first, it was kind of blurry, but man, I've seen it nice, and I guess the pixels in the image are a lot better than the one I got sent to me. And man, they look sharp. I'd like to hang that on my wall, that's for sure. But
It's gonna be sad. I buy all these trophies and I won't be the guy to take one home.
yeah. Well, you got to give her a good shot. You got a lot of momentum coming after the last race. Or do you feel confident?
No. I love that it's my hometown show, but me and the track we do not get along. I struggle there.
Put pressure on yourself.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. And you got corrected in the chat. There are women that
I,
race.
um,
The Wendy Belmont's class is that's the one that he was talking about.
What did he
But
say?
so for all the listeners that just started listening to this, how did you get started in figure eight racing?
uh, to be honest, I just went to the Jeff City Fair and watched a couple
Muted himself.
Kurt. I mean, we watched Kurt Turpin growing up and Jordan Tobin quite a bit, and we just went to the Jeff City Fair. And one day, I just decided we was going to try it.
And over the years, what do you have a favorite track that you've grown to love?
I actually like Jeff City. I've always liked that one. I mean, before New Bloomfield, that was kind of our hometown track. Um, when we first got started, that was the one we'd make every year. We didn't really travel around a whole lot when we started 2011, so we always looked very forward to when Jeff City was around, and I just kind of always stuck with that track.
Last couple of years, you've had a fireworks show. Is that
Do what?
I said in the last couple of years you've had a fireworks show with that one. Is that in the works
Yeah,
again?
and I know they're gonna do. He's already got his fireworks and stuff planned out for this year. It should be a really good show this year. So yeah, I got started into doing a lot of fireworks shows, and he got with me and said, "Dude, let's do a fireworks show at the race." So yeah, I'd say it's gonna be a thing from here on out.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed them myself. Last year, man, some of them kind of got close to the crowd and they were freaking out over there in the stands.
Well, I have a huge Fourth of July party every year. I mean, it's something I really enjoy, and yeah, we it gets pretty wild here. I mean, you'll have to come check it out this year.
What's uh what's your favorite kind of car that you're running this year? What kind of car you driving? Like your main one?
I mean, the main car that we built this year is an Alero. We have a couple things we got to work out. Last race, we knew it needed a transmission a couple days before the race, but we decided to go ahead and take it anyways to see what it would do. But I still got the Cavaliers. I like them. They're hard to beat when it comes to turning.
That thing's an Alero. I was wondering. Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
Well, if you say you're not feeling confident, who do you think's going to come out on top?
You know, I've been debating on this pretty hard. I really don't know. What I'd like to see is I like to see somebody new. Just I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna throw any predictions out there. You know, of course, you'd like to see a couple of the new Bloomfield guys come home with it being our hometown, but I just would like to see somebody new up there, somebody that hasn't made the podium much, and just somebody different. You know, I think New Bloomfield's a small track. It's going to be very compact. It's going to be who's going to get around the most, pick the holes. There's going to be car pileups, so I just think it's going to be really who's the better driver out there and whose car holds up.
Last year, the race that came to my mind was Bryson Clark. He was wheeling it around there with
Blaine.
Blaine right on his heels, and I mean that race was awesome.
Oh
And
yeah.
it didn't matter who had the faster car because they were both wheeling it through the corners, and that's a track. That's something about New Bloomfield that we haven't. It always seems like the features are super close, and we've seen passes within the last turn the last couple times. So
Oh yeah.
um, anything's possible there. It reminds me of the Bristol of figure eight racing, and I feel like this year it's going to be even better.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have that track dialed in, and I think it's gonna be some good racing, and I whoever wins, I mean, like I said, it's hard to say, but they're gonna earn it. I'd say. I mean, it's gonna be a tough feature.
Well, we just want to thank you for all your support, man. That's it takes an army to do this, and it's always helpful when you have people stepping up like you that are in the sport and uh, you're getting your name out there, but you're also doing it for all the drivers that are showing up. So
Just want to see it continue.
Are you done kissing his ass? We brought you on here to throw you some hard hitting questions here. I mean, we appreciate everything you do for sure, but here's the question I think everyone wants to know. We talk a lot about teams and team changes. There's a new Bloomfield team. That's your hometown. What's you don't like them guys or what?
Oh gosh. No, actually they're all great people. Zach works for me. Dylan and Tony and I become really good friends. Anthony and I have been friends. A lot of it with the team for me is I did it years ago, and I found that it's a lot better when you're by yourself. If I go out and take somebody out, I'm getting taken out because it's something I did, not five of our teammates. So I've kind of always been that way. But I mean, we still all part together. I mean, heck, my car broke at the last race. I popped a tire, and Tony was already jacking up where I was even out of the car. So I mean, they still give me a hand if I need it, and vice versa. I'll do the same for them.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've never heard all like the last couple of years that the teams have kind of formed. I've been waiting for someone to say, like, yeah, I've got to pay for something someone else did. And sometimes we see that happen. So I thought that was an interesting take on that.
Just the old lone wolf. You don't need anybody else, huh? You can just do it all on your own.
I mean, I got I mean, I'm friends with several people out there, but I got my brother too. I mean, he's there. I mean, you know, uh, I'd
Like I
say
said,
I'd say we're a team, but heck, we still don't run the same colors either. We kind of just do our own thing.
everyone's saying he's got the JP Lawn Care team. He's got 7 cars. So
That's right. You don't need no other teammates. I'll just bring a couple more cars each time, and I'll be just fine.
So, how many cars are you bringing Saturday?
I have I have I have three. We'll have a youth driver in one of them, and then my Carnage car that we took to Carnage. We have an employee that works with us that he has been chomping at this figure eight thing for a while. He just kept asking questions, and I looked at the Carnage car. I said, "You put an X on it. You paint it any color other than purple. You can go run it." So my Carnage car will be there too. So I'm sure I'm a little nervous about that because I did not build it. So hopefully he does not junk it. I mean, it is a gun go card, but he has talked about it for 2 weeks. He is pumped. So if I had to pick a guy to win, if you go off of confidence, I'd say it's him. He's ready.
he's got more confidence than Dylan Carr. Holy
Oh,
crap.
he's been excited. He's been driving it up and down the driveway. He's told me his age several times. He's a natural born driver, and uh, we'll see. If me and him get lined up in the heat together, we'll see what happens.
So, I don't know if you caught this. You kind of glossed over it. So you're letting you talk a lot about how much time and effort you put into your builds. You're just letting some randos and some kids drive your cars just for the hell of it, just for your hometown show, or
They can't be as bad as you was on it at the end of the year show. But overall, I mean, the one kid is my wife's uncle, and she'd come and watch us several times, and she had talked about it. And then we had another boy that was gonna drive one. We actually had all three of my cars going out to youth drivers, and one backed out. And then the other boy, he wanted to ride with my brother. And so my brother actually took his Grand Dam and painted it all up for him and put his number on it and got it ready. So he'll be in Brandon's car. So we'll both have a youth driver out there.
you say your wife's uncle
Yeah.
in the youth race?
It's his daughter.
Oh, okay.
And then I think we have a powder puff driver running one of them too. She hasn't made her decision.
I just think that that's pretty awesome. I know there was no one driving my cars whenever I was running, so it's pretty awesome that you're willing to let somebody, even like your gut and go car from Carnage, let somebody kind of bring them into the sport and give them a chance to run at the hometown show, but really just bring them into the sport, and then that's just a really good way to grow it, I think.
I I think it's gonna be fun riding. I tried to get her out here to practice a little bit, but unfortunately the rain has just put a halt to it. So Saturday is going to be a shock. I hope she knows the difference between the gas and the brake, but if not, I'll be hanging on. And I think it's going to be fun to be with the kid and to see, because I remember when I first did it, you definitely have a lot more joy for it when you first start than you do now. I mean, the jitters pulling on the track, you're excited. The more you do it, the longer you've been in it, you kind of lose all that. So we'll be excited to experience that next to somebody.
Yeah, when it's your own kid, you're more nervous for them than they are when they're pulling out there. I'll tell you that right
So
now.
I was gonna let her run the new car, the one that has the hydro steering, and just because we haven't really got to test it much since we got the motor in it, and it's got an electric seat on it, so it's a pain to move the seat. And then I was like, man, what if she oversteers this thing on the first lap and we're facing 10 kids coming at us? I was like, yeah, we're probably just gonna run one of the Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of youth cars out there. Rayleigh will not be there though due to the softball tournament, but I know there's going to be several of them that show up. So
Seems like the class is growing every race.
yeah, every year you see growth and you see a bunch of new kids coming in. That last race there was a bunch of kids that missed due to ball games, and I'll talk to a lot of them or because they were in trouble. And I talked to a lot of them, and they said they'll be there. So
Heck yeah.
it should be a good youth class this race. So
Heck
and I
yeah.
was watching some of that video. That Camden Tobin man, he could drive. So
I'm rooting for him. He's a good kid, and he's in a heck of a car, and it's a quick car, and he figured it out pretty quick. I mean, he made a few laps, and you can really see where he turned it up. So I'm excited to see what he does this race.
yeah, I'm just waiting to see Blaine freak out on him.
When Blaine and him were getting ready to pull on the track, there was a bunch of the drivers walking through the pit at the last race, and everybody was patting him on his head when he was driving by or giving him fist bump or something, and you could just see the ears. I mean, he was just smiling from ear to ear, so it was neat to see.
And everybody said, "Well, at least there's no concrete around this one, so you'll just be in the dirt, not working on concrete blocks."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Fulton's the next one, and my daughter will be all up in them walls. I guarantee it.
I haven't seen the track since they've redone it. I ran on it a bunch back in the day, and what a lot of people don't realize is they complain about the tires that we go around. Back in the day, we used to have to go around concrete pillars, and
Oh
people
yeah,
would run each
yes.
other into them.
Oh yeah.
I watched Jacob Wood blow one completely in half one time.
Yeah, he did.
Shattered it. He shattered it.
Yeah, he did. They just kept going.
Yeah, they
Oh
didn't.
yeah.
They didn't stop it.
So, what is the strategy? You bring in three cars. Is it just hope and pray that or one out of the three make it to the feature? Or like I know last year you struggled just getting the one through. Or you think you're gonna think you're gonna struggle this year?
I don't know. I mean, you always want to hope not. I mean, uh, last year, man, we had a tough go, and whether it was tampering with the cars or it wasn't, who knows? We ran the cars several times here at the house, and we had wires that were unplugged off of the computer last year. I mean, how that just comes undone, I don't know. But we also had a new fuel pump that was put in 2 nights before the race. It went out. I mean, last year was just tough on us, and sometimes you just have them nights. And as far as this game plan goes, is I'd like to see how the new car does. I mean, I always kind of lean on my one Cavalier, the one that the youth driver is going to be running. The motor sounds like it's about to go, so I don't know if it'll go on her or not. If it does, we'll put a motor in, and if it doesn't, then we might take it out. I don't know.
We get the weirdest comments ever from some of these people. Someone put, he looks like a young Robert Redford. But
That's Jeremiah Johnson. It's the old meme.
yeah. But it's exciting that you're bringing new people into the sport. I know that's it takes a lot for people to do that. And the I think, were you the one that brought someone in new from in Jeff City last year? Did you have someone drive your car last year
It was the
there
year
too?
before. It was a year
Yeah.
before we had a couple of youth drivers that year, but no, I don't think we had anybody last year. As far as kids drive.
Yeah, they made like a newspaper article and everything over that. I remember that.
Yep, that was Anthony's daughter.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was last year. Then I guess we've done it the last couple of years then, because some of the neighbor kids also have driven them.
But so what's your do you, when you go out in the heat at New Bloomfield, is there a certain place you'd like to start during your heat? Do you feel more comfortable in the front, the mid pack, or in the back?
Uh, I think Joshua picks on me and likes to put me in the back. But of course, I like to be in the front. I mean, everybody likes to be in the front, so you can kind of. But if I had to pick my favorite spot to be, it's probably second row inside, just so
Oh
you can
yeah.
push the first guy and come out of come right out of it, hopefully. But it anymore if you get put in the back, if you got good drivers or somebody's got a fast car, I mean, you really got your work cut out sometimes to run them down.
I've been noticing that with the heats becoming more competitive each and every year, race by race. It seems like man, if it's some part of it's the luck of the draw because these guys are racing. I mean, you got the top four racing four wide. You're sitting in fifth place, nipping at their heels, but there's just nowhere to go really. And we seen
Yep.
that in Heat 6 at Russellville. There was four wide the whole race. All six of them were right there. It's just the getting around the front two was the hardest part. Once I think
Oh
Dustin
yeah.
Jordan managed to get by that, he kind of cruised away with it a little bit. But
Hey now, I was in that heat, so you're talking about me being in the back. My car would only go 17 mile an hour now. I was
what
still
do you have
sticking up there.
GPS or something in there?
No, we took it to the dyno a couple nights before, and that's how we found out the transmission was going out of it. But I just wanted to see if any of my steering components would break, so I went ahead and took it.
There was a lot of testing and tuning going on throughout that night at
Oh
Russellville, and
yeah.
I'm sure we'll see it again at New Bloomfield. I know a lot of people are bringing new rides out, and it'll be interesting to see how their hard work holds up against the competition.
It usually takes 3 or 4 races where you start really seeing everybody get their stuff dialed in.
So, do you feel like there's been an evolution from this year to last year?
I
Have you
mean,
seen any?
I know that I mean, every year everybody steps up, and um, I feel like, last year, I mean, our cars came on decent, but there's still a lot of things we weren't doing that some people were doing. And this year, I know, there's 5 or 6 guys that have really stepped up that are trying some new stuff. And um, other teams, as they go through the tech line and you're talking to everybody, it really sounded like everybody had really stepped up. So I think, each year it's going to get harder and harder. the easy wins. I don't think there is an easy win anymore. I mean, you really have to drive.
Last week or last race, last race, how did you feel during the feature? Did you feel like it was pretty clean? James got on here, said he felt like it was a clean race for the most part. How'd your race go?
He must have been a lot faster than me because I thought it was a lot rougher. I actually thought it was pretty rough. Um, but then again, uh, it's the first race. Everybody's excited to be out there, and I was door by door with quite a few people that they're usually more laid back, and it looked like we were all kind of gunning. And once I started seeing a few cars go out, I just kind of kept my own pace and was kind of just like, well, got to pull off the track. I mean, you can't do anything if you don't pull off the track. And we got lucky enough that I knew I was running pretty close to. I knew Corey Burton. I knew Dylan and Dustin and Jordan. I knew we had kind of made about 6 or 7 laps together. I didn't really know where we was quite at, but when I saw James take the white, we went around the tire, and then he was getting ready to take the checker. I just held it to the floor. That way I could kind of be in front of the pack, and wherever I came out, I came out. So I actually did not know at the time that I was in second.
Awesome, awesome
Yeah,
racing.
you'll get a lot better at recognizing where you're at. Like whenever you run up there, I know this is first time in a long time you've been in that top three. But,
Hey, all I know is when I watched you race last, I think you took last.
I don't think so.
I don't know who would have. You were parked there for a while.
I know, but I did a lot of work early.
I know when I drove by, I just waved at him.
So
But,
you ended up winning, didn't you?
yep.
I knew you. I always knew you was the better driver of the three.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but someone's a little sour still. but yeah, it wasn't me. That's all I'm gonna say. No, I race everybody clean, so but yeah. Do you have any sponsors or anything anybody you want to thank for helping you out this year?
Oh man, if it wasn't for the sponsors this year, I mean, we definitely wouldn't have the car that we have or the time or money into it. But yeah, I mean, we're very very lucky this year. I mean, we got about 11 sponsors on board. I know we got Fletcher Performance and Paint. We got Becky's Towing. We got On-Site Glass. Um, I don't have my list in front of me, but uh, I know I'm on there. And then we got a church out of Jeff City. We have shirts on the side. Glenn Ferris, man, he's been great. He's been designing shirts for us, and the new design he's got for us. I'm pretty excited that we didn't end up getting to get them done for New Bloomfield to pass out. We'll probably just give them out at another race. So we'll get that figured out. But I got Dos Primos, payroll and bookkeeping. If it, like I said, if it wasn't for them guys, I mean, we definitely wouldn't have the car that we have. And I just hope that we can kind of get our heads wrapped around it, and hopefully within 3 or 4 races we can get it figured out.
Yeah. Well, he was pretty comfortable in it the first night out, so
I made a lot of laps in it here at the house. I mean, and it ran great till 2 days before the race when we put it on the dyno, and he said, "We got a problem." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Every time we hit the gas, we're losing horsepower." And so we did a bunch of engine checks. We checked compression. We checked everything, and it ended up being. He's like, "Man, your transmission's going out." But again, on the car, T1 Construction and Fabrication. I mean, that's Blaine. He's done quite a bit of work to the car this year. He actually did the rear setup on it. He's done quite a few parts. I know I've ordered a set of spindle savers and stuff from him. Man, guys, as much as we all do in the sport and we try to help each other out, he's making parts for everybody. I mean, reach out to him. He does a great work. I mean, I can build a lot of stuff, but my stuff ain't nowhere near as neat as his. I mean, he puts a lot of time and pride in it.
No, that is for sure. Because you can definitely tell when his stuff comes through, you're like, yep, Blaine built that.
Oh, Joshua Wood, as soon as I went through the tech line, he said, well, I know you did this part, but you didn't do this part.
So what's the plan this later on this year? Is it still just showing up and having fun, or has it switched into, well, I might run for points, or
No, I mean, every year I feel like I try in some way, on points. Yeah, I'll never be the guy that'll probably win. Um, my wife enjoys too many. We're going to Alaska and on the Fulton one, so I'll be missing it. But man, I go out there. If I'm there, I'm gonna give it everything I got. And I sometimes we're gonna miss races, and sometimes though to get that when you start running 3 or 4 times a month, sometimes taking that weekend off, it probably helps.
yeah, it's a grind, that's for sure.
I'm glad you got faith in me though.
Yeah, I do. All the faith.
Top five would be a win for me.
I'm still confident. Well, we wish you best of luck, Jordan. Thank you for coming on the podcast and visiting with us real quick on just like I said, we thank you for everything you do for the sport.
Ain't no
It's guys
problem.
like you that make it grow.
Yeah, just hopefully you can get one of those cars through the feature, and then you know you're buying the trophy. So if you get 10, just buy another one.
I might have to. I might need an appreciation trophy. I figure that's the least you can do is just give me a little trophy.
We gave somebody a football a few years ago. I think it was Rhett.
Oh yeah. A
Dude,
little football.
I can top that. The most interesting trophy I've ever gotten from Joshua Wood was my second year winning the cleanup show. He gave me a 1 or 2 inch tall trophy that had a wolf on it. And I said, what the hell?
What
Oh
was
yeah,
that?
Do what?
What was that for?
The cleanup show?
Oh, winning it.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of a mad dog right there.
That, that was the most interesting trophy I've ever got.
Oh, that's funny.
cleaning out the excess inventory there for the cleanup show.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Jordan. We
Hey,
appreciate
no,
you.
no problem, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Sleep good. Ain't like you're gonna mow anyways.
Oh, whatever. He said he's got a ton of mowing to do.
I give that guy a hard time, and I wouldn't. He just got off of here. I wouldn't say it with him listening directly, anyways. But man, he does so much for the sport and just for so much preparation in his cars and so much stuff. You see him supporting shows, the fireworks, like you mentioned. He's put a lot of work into this new Bloomfield show as well. He's bought the trophies. I think he's getting ready to go out there and mow the pits for everybody. Um, I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm forgetting, but he puts a lot of work. You know, as a driver, he doesn't have to help promote or help sponsor or do anything like that. And we just appreciate the hell out of him and everything he does. He's probably one of the most stand-up guys that I've ever met. So I'm glad that he's around this sport.
Yeah, he's one of them ones that are good for the sport. I mean, there's a lot of drivers that are good for the sport, but he's one that definitely gives back and helps to grow it. But yep, this Saturday night, 7 p.m. in New Bloomfield, Missouri. Um, come on out. There's gonna be Power Wheels. I know Corey Burton and Wild Card Racing. They've got some trophies and stuff for the Power Wheel drivers, some goodie bags and stuff like that. They're putting together. Um, if you guys are planning on having your kid run the Power Wheels, reach out. We want to make sure there's enough for everybody. Um, we want everybody to get something. So for the Power Wheels. Right after that, we'll have our youth bump and run. That's the youth drivers ages 10 to 15 years old. They go in like a circle track formation out on the or out on the figure eight track, and they always put on a show. And like we said earlier in the podcast, it's a growing thing, and it's really gained traction around Central Missouri. We've had some people reach out, just talking to me on YouTube. They live kind of nearby. They're gonna later this summer they're gonna make some ventures out and get their kids in cars too. So that'll be exciting to see. It's exciting to see the interest keep growing in that, just in that realm of the bump and run. And then we have our Worthy Bell Bonds Figure Eight Championship Series. Right now it's 750 to win, 300 for second, 2 for third, and 100 for fourth. The last 2 years, this is the third year in New Bloomfield. That's went up the day of the race. And like we showed on here earlier, Jordan's got some sweet trophies that he's going to be providing with Happy Gilmore checks. And man, they're nice guys. There's a lot of, I can't imagine how much all that totaled up to be, because I've seen just what cheap trophies are. There are no such thing as a cheap trophy anymore. So come on out, everybody. It's going to be a great show. Um, I'd say the gates will probably open at 3, 4 o'clock, something around there. So I know I'll be there pretty early this year to um, help tack and set up all my stuff. And Joshua's got some new improvements he's going to be throwing out on the track to see how that works out. And I'm excited to see it. We're going to have the in-car cam sitting down there in the staging area, that we're going to have one out per heat. That's the goal. And I'll tell everybody the day of the race, but I'm going to be down there drilling pilot holes as you come through the tech line. If you want a camera on your car, just throw it. I'll drill a pilot hole on, and then when you're in staging for your heat, there should be a camera down there. It's just whoever. It doesn't matter who gets it. We don't want anyone fighting over it, but we do want camera. I want a camera out there in every race. So I'm hoping everyone's saying Ricky Bobby will be there at noon. You better believe it. He'll be under the shade tree, and um, there's just a lot of excitement around this race, and it's one of my, it's one of the ones that you see the locals back up. The crowd, they're going to have to get bigger bleachers up there or something. The way it keeps growing. Last year we had people standing in back of pickup trucks along the fence line so they could see over the mini bleachers and stuff like that. So get there early or bring lawn chairs, one or the other. So there's never enough seating for this track. I know I got a buddy that brings a party bus. It's an old school bus. They turned it into a party bus. They park it along the side of the track there every year, and he said he'll be out there again this year. So that's exciting to see. But yeah, let's look at these. See here. So these trophies that Jordan has. Here's a closer look at them. So yeah, as you can see, he's got a tri-level trophies, and like you said, it's 5 foot. He's got spark plugs, and I like how he did the little picture card. It tells you exactly where it's from, the year, and stuff like that. I've got a trophy like that from Graveyard Smash, and it's one of my favorite trophies, just the way it looks and how big it is compared to the rest of my trophies. Definitely, someone spent some time and effort on making those trophies, and here's the youth division. As you can see, he's got it clearly on there. That's youth division. I like the color combos that he went with. Um, if you guys are the trophy chasing kind, this is the show you want to be at for sure. And then the powder puff, he even reached out and got powder puff trophies as well. So uh, I'll be interested to see how many powder puffs show up for this one. Oh, so early predictions. Uh, where do you want to set the line at this week for the attendance or the amount of cars? I can hear that. I guess before we get into that, so right now, geez, I'm sorry. Oh, they're not up yet. So the points aren't up yet. I'm sure
are
they
up.
will be
They're up there.
pretty soon.
The points are up. Go back. No, it's just that's the right one. It's just labeled wrong.
Oh, this 2023 one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, they are. So early right now, James Fisher's winning points. Jordan Piter second, Dylan White third, Dustin Jordan in fourth. That's their top four. All them drivers will be there to try to keep their streak going. Blaine Tobin sixth, Jake Timbrook in fifth. His car was hurt. I hope to see him out there in something hometown track. I'm sure he'll bring something out. That number 3 car was hurt bad though. I don't know if he'll be able to get that one back. He might be a Magic Man number 2 or something. He can get that one back out there. But Corey Burton, 7th place right now. I hope he brings his new car out. It's if not, he'll still be a force to be reckoned with. Last year he had a pretty good run going out there. Chad Bish in 8th, Nick Long 9th, and Brandon Piter's your top 10 right now. So a lot of different faces from what we seen at the top last year. So no, it's only the first race, but I know it's bound to change. But it's a lot of new faces at the top, or a lot of old faces that weren't there last year for sure. A lot of shuffle so far. And then see here. So Jordan earlier was saying he'd like to see 70 cars, and we had 60 last week or the first race of the year, and I know we had a couple that weren't coming, and I've heard from a few that wasn't there that they're going to be there, so it might be close to that number. I'm sure the Happy Gilmore checks and the trophies may entice a few other people to come. I know someone told me they're coming out of retirement for this race, and can't wait to see them out there. And he said, "Don't say nothing," so that's about all I'm gonna say. Is even them trophies bring people out of the woodwork when you got a 5 foot trophy that you can win, and at least $750 to go with it. So, but yeah, I'd say we'll probably get around 60 cars. There's a lot of things I can't say on here just because I told people I wouldn't. A lot of new cars coming. That's all I'm gonna say. I bet we see 10 more fresh cars here. That's what I'll set my line at. There's some people gonna get scared.
We're starting our lines right now.
Right?
So are we starting lines right now?
I can go into some news real quick and then come back to that.
We can do it. However you want to do it.
Trying to end this. Oh shoot. Wasn't supposed to do that. Frick.
Now I gotta go merge videos.
I don't even know how to start a new one. Shoot. The live stream's still going, I think. So that's good. I don't know where the record button went.
I got it online.
Technical issues. Might want to listen to this one on. I might have ended.
YouTube audience is loving it.
Yeah. I think we're still live on YouTube. Anyway, so yeah, we can go ahead with the picks. If you're
Record this?
huh?
So you want to record this? I tried that. Sending you.
Okay. I think you're recording it, but yeah, we'll figure it out. So
Better not, I guess.
yeah, that's working now. So sorry about that for everybody tuning in live. That was a glitch. That was a operator error by me. So yeah, we're still live on YouTube though. So
Too many clicks.
wow, I was just clicking everything. So I don't even. Oh, there it is. All right, now I'm back. I'm recording too now. All right, so you want to do our picks or over unders? I know people are waiting for that. Everybody said, "Oh, we're used to them operator errors." By
Yeah.
At least at least now you know why I don't live stream at the tracks because this is I'd be recording when I'm not supposed to and not recording when I am. So let's set the. Do you have a? Do you think a new Bloomfield driver will bring home a win for first time in the history of the new Bloomfield track?
No.
No, for Joshua. I'm gonna say yes for that one. Gonna say that a new Bloomfield native, third time's a charm. It's written in the storybooks.
No. Not happening.
What's your yeah, I don't even know how to do that, Joshua. Craig said set up a TikTok live. I have enough problems with just one live, but I think I can go live on Facebook at the same time, but I
We're
just
not
wouldn't know how
counting Angie Burton into that. This is for the the main class, right?
just
Not
for the Worthy Bell Bonds class. Yep. Gosh. They said that's the spirit, Joshua. I mean, the odds are in your favor com-
I mean,
on that one.
I've seen them guys drive.
So, what's your over under on the cars? Where are we setting that this week?
Oh, this isn't even fair. I just feel like I give this line to you. Whatever you said, I'm going under. I don't know. There has been quite a bit of excitement. I think.
We'll set it at 60. That's a tough, very tough line. That's a Landon won't be there. Couple NLR cars. So, but they might have been fixed and a new owner might bring them. Who knows? So, but yeah, I'll say over 60. I think we're going to get 62 probably.
That's the same number you guessed last time.
No, I didn't. I guess 52.
Oh, I'll go over too.
All right. That's a tough line, but we'll probably get it. I think there's a lot of excitement in the sport, a lot of excitement just building around that area that's going to draw some people in that we normally don't see.
Yeah, I know. I do think that there is like an element of new Bloomfield guys are scaring some people off just because they're scared of them. So there might be some people staying home just because of that, but yeah, I think we'll have an all right turnout if the weather stays good.
Yeah, it's looking good right now. That's what I'm going with. But so you said no new Bloomfield will win. So what's trying to think of some more here.
All right, who's winning? You can't pick someone that you've already picked.
Are we gonna do that this year? Oh, I like it. It's like a survival mode.
Survivor.
Hmm. So I'm gonna have to start writing notes on this crap. Pick blame. So he's gonna kill me, but I'm gonna say Corey Burton wins this one.
I was thinking you were gonna name someone not from New Bloomfield. I was like, All
Counting on myself here.
right. Uh, I'm gonna say Youngmeyer.
That could happen. He does well at that track, so it's a good pick.
All right. Who's winning the youth race? Oh, I guess I get to pick since you picked Corey first.
Yeah,
I'll play Hunter Bish.
I'm gonna say Camden gets it done. Second night out.
Second night out. GoPro in
Yep.
the car.
The way he was, and the reason for that, the way he was whipping that car, he didn't need very much room at all to get around them corners. I think it's gonna be a cornering match, and um, whoever does the best in the corners, I think, is gonna win the youth race. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna go with Camden.
I think this is the first time we've had a youth race on this track, so it'll be interesting.
No, he's been practicing. He's got to be practicing. Um, the hype in that kid, the excitement that he had. That's what I love about the youth drivers, man. They all hop out of there like they just won the lottery or something, and they can't wait to do it again. So
Man, if I'm James Fisher, I'm feeling pretty slighted right now. We both didn't pick him. He was last year's winner.
came
Just
from
won
dead last
Bloomfield.
last year.
Yeah.
He was my pick last year at the track. So, and the reason why I just don't want to jinx the guy. So, well, I don't want to jinx anyone,
You heard
but
that, Corey. John is trying to teach you.
so maybe I'm saving James for Eldon or something. I don't know. That whole survivor thing adds a whole new element to it. I didn't really think that through. Made my pick. You better bring your new car. Or probably won't even bring his new car. But um, I think we'll have a rollover.
Hmm. I don't think we had one last year. Maybe even the year before. Um, no. Oh, no. I don't think so.
I'm gonna say someone puts it on their lid. Some way, somehow, someone's gonna put it on their bid.
Yeah, I think the track kind of stays a little slimy on the top where Russellville really digs in. So like when old boy rolled over, he hit that tire and just dug. Or this, he hits that tire and he's gonna slide. But
I think
no.
we're gonna have a tacky track, and I think we got some beginners coming out there, and they might misjudge a corner and pop it up in the air and get pushed over from the side or something. Who knows? How many cars park at the dirt mound?
Yeah, that's a good question. Uh, say three.
I'll go with the over.
All right.
I'll say like 5. Get
All right, let's do some fun ones here. Driver driver specific over unders. So let's just go down the list. Where's James Fisher top 5 over or under?
what's the under? Like less than
Yeah,
fifth or
6. The
oh,
line set at 5, 5.5.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna say he gets 7th place. So over.
All right. I'm gonna say under.
Yeah, I'm coming in at 7th this race in a hard fought battle.
I'm saying
I
under.
think this is gonna be Bristol on dirt, man. I'm telling you, this is if the track comes in right, it's gonna be 4 or 5 wide. These guys are gonna be battling tooth and nail. So
Yeah, I think that's like a track for slow ball. They could corner like no other. Just struggles with the top end. So, all right. What about old Jeremiah Johnson himself, Jordan Piter?
say, are we just saying top 5, or is that
I
where
mean,
you're
you
going?
set the line.
Okay,
I said James's line.
I'll set it at 6th or under.
The 6.5. I'm gonna say under, like top 6.
All right. Got him under too.
All right,
Blaine
Dylan.
Tobin. Oh, Dylan White.
Yep. We'll go top 10.
Yeah,
Line
I'll
set
give
at
him top 10.
10.5.
If he drives like he did in Russellville, I'll give him top 10 all day. Blaine Tobin, top 8.
Hmm. Blaine is Mr. Checkers of Records himself. I will go with over.
You're going under.
I think it's going to get wild. I think as tight as that track is, not real forgiving on axles. It's going to be a cooler heads prevail track, or cooler heads prevail race is what I think. So
I'm screwed.
I don't, I don't know if Blaine got the cooler head, but he's been, he's won California, so um, he's got it in him for sure.
Chilton top 5.
What's that?
Chilton top 5.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
saying I'm
I,
gonna say over.
I think he's top 2.
He very well could be, but I've got him going over with another week of tough luck at the end of the. He's got him going over this week.
We can do this for everybody.
Yeah. Joshua Craig. He wants his line set.
Didn't even make the feature last time. So what do we set the line? How many laps he runs in his heat race?
No. We'll set the line that he gets top 15. That's a clear line.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see 20 cars on the track, so that's basically saying if he's making the feature or not. He did. I think he did pretty good at New Bloomfield last year. I think he ended up like top 10 or something.
Yep.
Um,
He'll have a new car, most likely.
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe if he gets it done. Send me pictures today asking questions about it. So I don't know how far along he is, but judging by the pictures, he's got a long way to go in a little bit of time.
Magic Man. He makes magic happen, baby. I'm putting him in the feature.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably a pretty good bet. What about old Rusty Nuts himself, Dustin Jordan. He's an interesting one.
He's never has he raced at New Bloomfield? I don't know if he came the first year.
He didn't make the feature the first year. I don't think he came. I don't think he likes to go to new tracks the first go around.
No. Where you setting the line on him, brother?
Top 10's a good line.
I got him in there. He's in my top 10.
I don't have him in there.
Ethan Dummermuth, top 10.
Man, he had such bad luck at Russellville. I think he's gotta come back, and I don't think he's gonna let that happen 2 times in a row. I'll say top 10.
I got a couple more just because this is fun. Got him in top 10.
Hopefully you're keeping track because I done quit keeping track.
Well, I can keep track. I can watch it back. um, Landon Dow, super fast car. 10.
See, I didn't think his car was actually that fast. I think he's just he's always had driving ability. I think those IMR guys, they showed him kind of, a little bit of what they know. So I think he's just in better equipment. What'd you say that top 10? Say outside of it. Got some learning to do.
Ricky Bobby, does he make the feature?
Oof. I love you, Ricky, but not today.
Oh man, Ricky, you bring that new car. I'm putting you in. I'm saying you're going to make the feature.
This was the race that old Summers just put on a clinic and knocked Chilton out of the feature last year.
Oh yeah, and Ricky Bobby made the feature last year, I believe. This track it breeds new champions, man. This track here, I'm telling you, it's going to be the Bristol figure eight here in a couple years. Just it's so small, gives everybody a chance. You don't have to have all the power in the world. I'm calling it. He's making the
Josh Craig
feature.
got 6th last year, so that was pretty good memory right there.
Huh?
So Josh Craig got 6th last year, so that was pretty good memory.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. We didn't have our historian on here to tell us. Yeah. So, yep, that's probably good on picks. Will a never lift racing car make the feature this
Are they running?
week?
I got a message from one of them that said he's just got a derby.
Yeah, that was Andrew Rolfing. He sold this car to Austin Wood. Austin Wood's been in California. I don't know if he'll have it there at that track or not, but the rest of them, like Josh Womack, Josh Powers, the other guy, can't remember his name. They'll all be there.
Oh, no kidding. Heck yeah. They get rid of those fucking rear tires, they might have a chance.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns every week. That's just Joshua and I having fun, but man, and you never know who's gonna go out there and perform. Uh, I'm planning on bringing a second camera to kind of zoom in on your transponder system. That way, I can like kind of marry it up to the video, kind of. That'd give everybody a kind of a view of the running order and stuff like that. Um, you got anything you want to tell the guys on here? No.
No, we're trying some new things out, so you'll see it whenever you get there. Nothing that affects the race or anything like that. So, however, just throwing this out here for you guys, if anyone has an old projector that they don't have any use for, that wants to sell it or rent it or give it away, I got a use for it. So, um, so yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But we want to try some stuff with a projector if anyone has one that's not, $1,500 or something like that.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff coming down the line. I kind of mentioned it to the boys. I'm working on getting one more camera. I'm hoping to have a track on track camera one way or another. Yeah, probably won't be at New Bloomfield, but I plan to have it by Fulton or maybe the next one after that. So there's some cool things in the works for you guys. Can't wait to see everybody at New Bloomfield. Just bring it. Just go out there and send it because there's going to be a crowd roaring. The weather's probably going to be, I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking good. So it should be a fun night.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Joshua?
No, but I just think I think it's shaping up to be an awesome night. As a driver, yeah, I support people that support you, and these drivers, your peers are supporting you by they're putting up big trophies, big checks. Just like Jonathan said, there's always added money at this show for whatever reason. And they're really trying to give back to the drivers. So support them. And I don't know. I think I just knock on wood, but we've only had 2 races at this track, and they got better each year. And I think it's just going to keep getting better with track conditions and everything. The first time on a new track's always rough because it's not packed down. None of the local fire department know what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. But after you pack it down, you chew enough fireman's ass, you get the local guys involved with what's helping with track prep, and it just gets better and better every time. Same way with Russellville used to be. Russellville used to be shit track, and they just made it, kept working it in, working with the drivers, and I think that this place has the potential to have that same kind of track surface Russellville gets to. We just got to stay at it. But I'm excited. It's yeah, it's an any guy's track. Like, you don't need a lot of horsepower. You just need to drive because there's not a lot of room. So you can't swing it out wide and go through the corner, completely sideways and expect not to get hit. Like it takes it. You gotta be on your A game. And even like Piter was saying, it's anyone's game. He thinks it's gonna be, someone's first time win or something like that. So I think there's a lot of that energy around that track, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, I think it bodes well for the track, and it's so small. Like you said, you definitely have to have your head on a swivel and pick your holes, and be level headed, because every now and then you might get bumped and you lose your cool and junk it the next corner. It doesn't help your finish at all. So
Yep, we have seen some hotheads at this track with old Kyle Wardenhausen and whatever his face was. That was a fun time. I thought someone was gonna die.
Yep.
I thought Kyle was gonna die. He was messing with the wrong guy.
I don't know who that was, but yep, that was crazy times. We'll just say that. But yep, we're all excited. We're looking forward to seeing everybody out there. It's gonna be a great show. You won't want to miss it. That's all. I don't want to be a dead horse, but it's gonna be a good one. You got anything else? All right, some news, guys. Some news. Um, we have next week. I am gonna be at the team show in Salisbury, Missouri, recording. I've had several people reach out to me, ask me to come record them. So I'm gonna make that journey. Um, as long as the weather holds out. If it's like a super swampy show, I'm not gonna go. But most likely I'll be there. Another thing, last weekend was where is it? Last weekend CDP had Richmond's Missouri Demolition Derby. I wasn't there. I took some pictures off their Facebook page. It looked like they had street stock. They had like a semi-stock, full size, and then they had a gut and go. And judging by the cars, it looked like they had about 40 cars and pretty good show. This one, they had a kid out there in a freaking army tank in the powerhouse. And I was like, man, that everyone's talking about having a tank, and this kid literally brought one. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I took these off their admin of their Facebook page, posted them up. But yeah, their track looked pretty awesome. I didn't see any results on their page or anything, but everyone I talked to said it was a really good derby. Hadn't got to see any videos up of it. There's 2 videos on YouTube right now of it, and they're both like on car cameras. And uh, one of the guys, he has a camera mounted on the back of his van, and the first hit he does is in reverse, and it just the camera goes straight to the ground. And then the other camera view that he had on another van, it looked like it held up pretty good, but he had them things mounted like on the back of the cameras. It was pretty cool, like the back at the very back of the van. Uh, definitely something close and personal uh, view from that camera angle. But yep. And I know that Border Wars is coming up. There's a lot of a couple local guys from around here gonna be. I think Joey Prater and
I remember.
Tyler Bungard are signed up for that. So if you get some time, go support them and their journey to make Missouri the best this year. So I think that's a little closer this year for us than it has been in the past. I think they moved that show. It was in Nebraska. It's not in Nebraska this year.
Iowa.
Where is it at?
Iowa.
You know, Iowa. Yeah, a little closer. I think it's 6 hours now. So,
6 instead of 8 or
but
10.
that's all the news I have for this area for Missouri that's going on right now. I haven't really heard much else. So, but I'd go to New Bloomfield. I think there's a derby. Pull that back up. I think there's a derby somewhere this week in Missouri.
Cannon or something. Somewhere down south.
Yeah, it's in Kennett, Missouri. The Boot Hill Banger War on Wheels. So if you're way down south, might check that out. But if I would, if you want to see a show, come to New Bloomfield, Missouri, Saturday night. It's gonna be awesome. Anything else? All right, go out there and send them and bend them, boys. It's gonna be fun. See everybody there.